Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're looking at academic writing through a totally different lens. Think about it. Writing a thesis or a scholarly article is a lot like constructing a building. You can have the most beautiful building materials in the world, right? Your research, your data, your brilliant ideas. But without a rock-solid foundation and strict adherence to local building codes, the whole thing is going to collapse. Academic conventions of structure and referencing, they're exactly what keep your scholarly house standing tall. So what exactly keeps an academic paper from collapsing under scrutiny? Consider what really separates a sturdy, credible argument from just a random pile of disconnected ideas. It isn't just about using big words or eloquent phrasing. It's all about presenting your ideas within a rigorous, disciplined framework. That framework is the only thing ensuring your work can withstand the highest levels of academic inspection without crumbling to pieces. Here is our blueprint for today. First, why academic structure matters. Second, the anatomy of a thesis. Third, the rules of referencing. Fourth, choosing your citation style. And finally, building academic integrity. Section 1. Why academic structure matters, the foundation of credibility.
It's incredibly easy to look at structural formatting as just red tape. Busy work designed by professors to slow you down. But proper referencing, which is the practice of citing sources to ensure credibility, avoid plagiarism, and connect your work to the broader scholarly community, that is the foundational framing of your argument. Following these rules is absolutely crucial for building your credibility as an author. It prevents the fatal flaw of plagiarism, which is essentially stealing someone else's building materials and claiming you manufactured them yourself. And even more than that, it physically connects your specific house to the wider academic neighborhood.
Section 2. The anatomy of a thesis, framing the structure.
Every academic house has essential rooms that serve very specific functions. The title page is your front door, giving the title, author, institution, and date so we know who lives here. Next up is the abstract. This is like a welcoming porch. It offers a quick summary of your objectives, methods, and findings before anyone even steps inside. Then we enter the introduction, which defines the problem and why your work actually matters. From there, we move into the literature review, where you survey the existing neighborhood and pinpoint the exact gaps your house is filling. Deeper inside, we've got the methodology, explaining your research design and tools. Then, the main living space, the results and discussion, where you present and interpret your findings. Heading toward the back, the conclusion summarizes your contributions. And finally, the structural anchor holding the whole thing together, the references. Building every single one of these rooms is what guarantees a highly functional thesis.
Section 3. The rules of referencing. The building codes.
Section 4. Choosing your citation style, aligning with your discipline.
Just like zoning laws and building codes change depending on what city you're building in, citation rules vary depending on your specific academic discipline. You've got to pick the right one for your field. If you're in the social sciences, the APA style, from the American Psychological Association, is the absolute standard. It uses a specific author, date, page format right in the text, like Smith 2020, page 45. Then, in the reference list, it maps out the author's initial, the year in parentheses, the title, and the publisher. Prioritizing that publication year is absolutely vital in fast-moving social science fields, because research from even 5 years ago might already be totally outdated. Contrasting slightly with APA is the Harvard style, which is super common across various general disciplines. It streamlines that in-text citation down to just the author and date, so Smith 2020. It tells the reader right away who wrote it and when without interrupting the flow of the text with page numbers unless it's strictly necessary. And the reference list keeps that straightforward approach going, detailing the author, year, title, city of publication, and publisher. Now, things take a sharp, technical turn in engineering and technology fields with the IEEE style. With this one, the in-text citation is literally just a number inside a bracket, like a 1, which is brilliant for technical writing. Engineering papers are packed with complex equations, dense data, and highly technical language. The last thing they need is long names and dates cluttering up the paragraphs. IEEE uses these numerical brackets to keep everything incredibly clean and efficient. You just look up that bracketed number in the references section to find the exact details.
Over in the humanities, the MLA style uses an author page format, like Smith 45. In literature and the humanities, the specific date of publication is often way less critical than knowing the exact page where a literary passage can be found. Meanwhile, history and the arts favor the Chicago style, which relies on detailed footnotes instead of cluttering the main text at all. At the bottom of the page, a footnote reads 1. John Smith, History of Ideas, followed by the publication details and page number. History relies heavily on tracing primary and secondary sources, so footnotes let writers provide rich, detailed citations without breaking the flow of their historical arguments.
Section 5. Building Academic Integrity, the Master Matrix and Inspection.
When we pull all these specific building codes together, a clear master matrix emerges. You can really see how the social sciences, humanities, history, and engineering all have distinctly tailored approaches. APA focuses heavily on publication dates. MLA zeroes in on the author and the specific page. Chicago utilizes rich, detailed footnotes for narrative flow. Harvard offers a clean, streamlined approach, and IEEE relies on hyper-efficient bracketed numbers for technical readability. Grasping this comparative overview? That is exactly what separates a novice builder from a master architect.
Ultimately, choosing the right style ensures academic integrity and alignment with disciplinary standards. This isn't just about dodging a bad grade. Mastering these exact rules ensures your paper aligns perfectly with the standards set by the scholars who came before you. It upholds strict academic integrity, proving to your readers that your scholarly house is built on a solid foundation of honesty, accuracy, and absolute respect for the intellectual property of others. So, the big question is, are you ready to architect your next paper with perfect structural integrity? You've got the blueprints, you know the anatomy of a thesis, and you understand the specific building codes for your discipline. Your next academic project doesn't have to be daunting. Just treat it like a construction site. Lay your foundation, build out your rooms, and follow your citation codes to the letter. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy building!